I've got to say this as well, because a couple of people here, I heard of this term, modern day slavery, which I really have a big problem with this. Because of the stories that I just told you, I wouldn't call that modern day, I would just call that slavery. To me, when you put this modern day on it, it's like you're putting perfume on it. You're sweetening it up. You're taking away the edge that slavery had. And I don't want you to do that. It's either slavery or it's not slavery. There's no modern day slavery. Now, how am I doing for time, Ryan? 6 minutes left? Good thing I don't talk much. One of the things I've been asked to do is to talk a little bit about the organization. As I said, Domestic Workers United, it was founded in 1999. What we wanted to do is to get some, well, let me tell you this first. In the US, there's only 2 laws that domestic workers come under. That's the minimum wage law and the overtime law. And that doesn't matter even if you're a citizen, even if you're born in the United States, it makes no difference. Those are the only 2 laws you come under. And we wanted to do something different. So in 2003, we were successful in getting the city bill passed. And the city bill basically targets the agencies. It says if you go to an agency, the agency have to give you a list of your job description, where you're working, your hours, exactly what you're doing, when you're going to be paid. And to the employer have to have a list of his legal obligation, such as the minimum wage, overtime, and also the taxes that he's supposed to pay for you. So that was passed in 2003. November of 2003, we got a convention going where we invited everyone within the state of New York to come and let us know what their concerns were. Let us know what it is that you want to be protected by. And out of that, we now have a bill called the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights. The bill asks for at least 1 day off a week rest. Something called COLA. I don't know if you guys are familiar with COLA, but COLA is the cost of living increase. Every year there is a cost of living, which is set by the government, and whatever you get per hour, that would be increased every year by the cost of, the cost of living increase would be added to that. It also asks for sick days with pay, because in the US there's a lot of people that get sick and they do not get paid for it, because the thinking is, well, you didn't work, so why should you pay you? It also asks for holidays with pay, vacation with pay. A lot of these holidays that they have in America, like Labor Day, President's Day, the 4th of July, which is a very big holiday, and also Memorial Day, some domestic workers, if they want to get paid, they literally have to work. So that bill was introduced in 2004. And the way how the law works in the US, Albany is a state that really sets the bill. They're the ones that make the bill. So it's 2 sides. You've got the Assembly, which is mainly Democrats, and then you've got the Senate, which was mainly Republicans, but it just changed. So now that's mainly Democrats as well. So you have to get a sponsor from each side to introduce the bill. And the sponsor that we have is a guy from Harlem, and his name is Keith Wright. Now the Senate side, we just got another sponsor for that, and her name is Diane Savino. And we got that last week. We went to Albany last week, again pushing for this bill. And we've gone further than we ever have before. It's gone through the embassy. I didn't mean to say embassy. I meant to say assembly. It's gone through it's gone through the labor part of the assembly. So now it's waiting in something called codes. And codes is where they decide if they're going to pull the bill apart, what they're going to push through, what they're not going to push through. And in the Senate, it have yet to go through the labor. And then from there, it goes on to be voted on the floor. So we're still in the process of doing that, and the session starts in April, so we will be going back up there again pushing for this bill. The way how we organize that is we got a lot of support. We got the organizers to sign on saying that they support the bill. We also went to the unions and got the unions to also sign on, saying that they support the bill. And it's taken from 2004 until now, and we've got quite a few people on that. We've also got an organization called Jobs with Justice, which is very big. Another international names we've got onto this bill, which is why we've been able to push it as far as we've done. And this year we're really hoping that it will pass. In 2006, there was a convention in Geneva, and that was set up by the ILO. And the ILO is an international labor organization. And they invited domestic workers from around the world to come to Geneva and talk about whether it would be a good idea to have an international domestic worker organization. Now, last year, there was another visit back to Geneva, and they're planning a convention in 2010. What they want to do is to have a bill that will protect domestic workers around the world, regardless of where you are, just one bill that would be internationally recognized. Because one thing I've found in traveling around the world is wherever you are, it makes no difference. As long as you're a domestic worker, the respect and the treatment is just not there. The treatment is always the same, the respect is never there. I was surprised, this even happens in England, and England is a very, well, I grew up in England, so I can say that. England is a very class place, where you've got your haves and you have nots. And if you are a babysitter, if you're a nanny and you're a white nanny, and you go to, there's 2 colleges in England that you can go to, and you go to those colleges and you wear your little uniform, the level of respect is high. You can even work for the Queen if you behave yourself. The level there is high, but if you are an immigrant, and there they have a lot of immigrants coming in, if you are an immigrant, you get into jobs where you're working for people that are wealthy, and the treatment is the same as it is here and the same as it is in the US. So that is something that we're working towards. Also in 2006, I'm 3 minutes. I'm getting there, John, I'm getting there. Also in 2006, we formed a Domestic Workers Alliance, which is a national organization. And we have other domestic organizations from within the US. And we got together with that, and we're pushing also for better terms and better conditions for domestic workers. Because as I said, it doesn't matter where you go, as long as this is a job you're doing, everybody have the same complaints. It's just not respected, which is really quite funny, because they usually say to you, you're taking care of the most precious possession that I have, and yet they want to treat you like they wouldn't treat their animal. And we're planning another meeting with the National Alliance this year. Okay, Ryan, I'm finished. Thank you.